everyone, I'm Izzy Baughn with JHSTheWarning, and we're back again this year to interview the head football coach, Randy Coleman, before the first game of the season against Batesville. Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Well, to start, tell us a little bit about summer camps, how they went, all that as we go into the season. We lost many valuable seniors last year, so how have we prepared to fill their shoes?
Well, I mean, it's typical to every year. You know, you typically will lose 20 to 25 seniors. Actually, last year's senior class was the smallest one. It was 17. You know, the problem was, out of that 17, several of them were, like you say, really, really valuable. So, you know, you have the mindset like you do every year, and you say, we got to have these guys step up into those roles and play well. So we've had plenty of time in camp to get good evaluations of people. And now we roll out what we feel is our best 11. A lot of inexperienced players on the field, but that's part of it. You know, it's part of the process, and we're gonna trust it, and hopefully we play well.
Well, we're excited to watch. Well, last season we used a 2-quarterback system with seniors AJ Acock and Tyson Williams. So what can we expect to see at the quarterback position this year?
Well, we're going to start the year with cross-jumper, sophomore at quarterback. Now, you know, we're not scared to play more than one quarterback. So, you know, you'll see sometimes where Logan Orr is at quarterback. You'll see Brooks Cheatham at quarterback. We really like Dalen Powell, another sophomore as well. So, you know, just like, and trying not to give you the cliche coach speak answer, but, you know, we're going to play the guy that we think gives us the best chance to win. Right now, we feel like that's cross-jumper at quarterback, in large part because we think Logan Orr does so many things to help us be a better football team at different positions. So, you know, Cross has played really well so far. He's going to do some sophomoric type of things, but you know, you live with them and he'll learn and you move on.
Absolutely. Well, we have brought in a number of new coaches this season. So can you tell us about our coaching staff this year and what they bring to the table?
Yeah, so we hired a new defensive coordinator in Brad Cheshire from Nashville. Also moved up Carter Harbuck and Tyler George from Camp. So the neat thing to me that's happened with our coaching staff is, you know, prior to the changes we had now, we had one coach that was under the age of 40. Now we have 3 coaches under the age of 30. So, you know, when you go younger like that, you get a lot more enthusiasm, a lot more energy. Still, you know, kept the core of what we've got going on the same, but, you know, just that energy level increases. Now, you know, we've been affected lately with Coach Perry Darby having some heart issues and being out, but we're blessed to have Coach Richie Mathis, who stepped in to be a long-term sub. And Coach Darby is never, you know, not with us. You know, he's always checking film. He's always, you know, you can bounce stuff off of him. And we hope to get him back before the season's over. But, you know, kind of like what we dealt with last year with injuries to players, sometimes it happens to coaches, and you got to move forward.
Well, we're going to be looking for that energy from the new coaches, and we are keeping Coach Darby in our thoughts and prayers for sure. Well, speaking of coaches, I know that some of you had the opportunity to travel to Batesville to watch them play their first game against Little Rock Christian. Despite their loss, do you think that having one game on the season gives them an advantage over the Hurricane?
Well, you know, possibly that they've played, you know, 4 meaningful quarters. But somebody asked me that the other day, and I'll give you the same response. You know, we're dealing with high school males, and whose attention span's about 30 minutes. So I don't think, you know, playing a game, you know, a week ago is gonna matter too much when it all comes down to it. You know, we played so much in the past, you know, and I say that meaning Batesville and us, you know, with a senior high game and 2 JV games every year. We're familiar with each other. There's no real surprises. So, you know, I think more than anything, the conditioning part of it might be in their advantage just because they've played 4 quarters in one night that were meaningful. So we'll see. Hopefully it makes it has no factor in the game.
That's right. I hope so too. Well, from watching Batesville's film, they seem to have a stronger air game than they do on the ground through their senior quarterback, Hayden Childers. So how has the Hurricane defense prepared for this?
Well, I mean, you always have a plan for both the running and passing attack of the opponent. Yeah, he played really well last week. He threw the ball really well, and they've really got 3 or 4 weapons that they like to throw to. But, we're kind of maybe old school in our approach that good football teams typically run the ball well and stop the run. So Kadar Floyd is their running back. We know we've got to stop him first to be successful. If you can make somebody be one-dimensional in throwing the ball, we feel that's an advantage to the defense. So, we're aware, we got a plan, but we got to start with stopping the run.
Absolutely. We'll be looking for that. Well, each year brings new challenges and great strengths. So in what ways does this year's team differ from last season?
Well, I don't want to avoid your question, but a lot of the non-conference season helps answer that question. We'll know a little bit more after Catholic when we've played three games heading into the conference season, kind of what our real strengths are and what our weaknesses are. I know, every year when you play the 3 non-conference games that we play in Batesville, Conway, and Catholic, they will expose weaknesses. So we'll discover those. I mean, obviously one of them's going to be inexperience. Really on defense, we've got 7 guys that are fairly inexperienced to highly inexperienced, and then offensively, you're looking at 6 spots where you've got a lot of inexperience, and one of them being quarterback. So. It's going to take some time to figure all that stuff out. Obviously throughout fall camp and team camp and scrimmage games, you say, we probably don't need to ever do that again. And so you throw some stuff out, and we've done that. But time will tell, and it'll be soon.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of new blood and young kids to be watching this season. Well, each year is a last for some guys on the field unless they are moving on to play college football. Mm-hmm. So what do you have to say about your senior class this year?
Well, you hope that the realization of your days are numbered hits them sooner rather than later. You don't want them to wait till week 10 or the playoff to say, oh crap, it's about over. So we talk about it, we started a couple weeks ago talking about there was 101 days left of their high school playing career. That's if they made it all the way to the state championship game. So we're probably now in the upper 80s of what they've got left. And, it's a crazy time just because a lot of times those high school guys don't put it fully together until it really gets real. Week 7, 8, 9, we hope that they're just aware that, their time as a Golden Game guy and a high school football player is closer to being over than they could possibly imagine. So hopefully they'll take that and seize it and play, with all out effort every snap.
Yeah, have to take advantage of every moment. Well, I can't imagine the excitement that coaches and players are feeling this week, but of course that has to come with some level of healthy nerves. So, is there anything else that the Hurricane fans need to know going into week 1?
Well, a couple things come to mind when you're asking that question. One, last season ended so bad that you're just ready to get back on the field to kind of get that taste out of your mouth because it was a bitter pill to swallow. So as a competitor, you're ready to be back on the field. Second thing, and maybe most important thing, it's been 12 years since we opened at home. and since we opened at Cooksey John's. So, you know, to do that, I think it's going to be special. You know, we've gotten used a little bit to playing at ASU, but I think it's going to be really cool to play at home. You know, kind of rekindle some of those old memories that you've had from, you know, from back in the day. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the game will be on Friday night at 7 p.m. There will be a tailgate before with live music, lots of good food, so we would love to have you out to support, and good luck, Coach, this week.
Thank you very much, Izzy.